little deck up, I have a confession based on what Ashish said. I have a bachelor in engineering, computer science no less, and I did it because I didn't know what else to do. I then did the other thing that he talked about. I did an MBA. I still think I'm okay despite all of that. And well, he said to express your creativity, so last year I did write a book. Well, because it was colored by the engineering background and the MBA and everything else, it turned out to be a McGraw-Hill textbook, not a storybook like one of my following speakers, but it was good fun. It was a creative process, and it was about how you could do marketing with no money at all, and it's based mostly on my 10 years in the Indian IT industry, which most of you know is a very prosperous and thriving industry. What not many of you may know is that it spends almost zero on mass media and has never actually spent on mass media. If you take any of the two of the top 3 brands that never spent, TCS last year finally succumbed, not last year, the year before, finally succumbed and spent, I think, the grand sum of 10 million for a company which is somewhere in the region of 8 billion. So people said, why did you pick this topic? And honestly, the answer is, you know, if you get lemons, you make lemonade. So since I was one of the few people in India who had done marketing without mass media, no print, no TV for most of my career, I thought I'd put down the findings from that and share it with other companies which also want to build a brand without using mass media. I know that I'm, you know, at the headquarters of mass media here in Bombay, but I'm from Bangalore, so let me talk about cheap, frugal ways to build a brand. So, for today's session, I just have one little diagram from my book. I did confess that I'm an engineer, so I do have diagrams. I don't have such sweet stories. But, you know, when we first started doing social media, I mean, around 18 months ago, 24 months ago, was when we said, hey, we should get on Twitter. Okay, at that time it was considered very cool to be on Twitter. And so we set up, you know, at the time I was with Wipro, and we set up at Wipro and went online and stuff. And we did nothing, we just wanted to see what was this new medium about. But we set little search filters on TweetDeck, which would show you when there was a discussion about your particular company, or, you know, we'd set one for Infosys, for TCS and so on. And despite the fact that we tweeted nothing, we found that there was a fair amount of traffic happening. And then it was kind of cute because the tweets would be, I am with Wipro. Me too. Ah, I am at the coffee shop. Me too. Can we meet for lunch? Sure. Are you married? No. And you know, these would be public domain tweets because obviously they didn't know that, you know, corporate was looking at all of this stuff. And then, you know, we had filters for Infosys and TCS, and guess what? Hello, I am single. In Infosys Bangalore. Me too. Which building? Me too. And it would progress. So that gives you an idea of, you know, social media being truly social. And here we were trying to use it for something like business. But we did figure out that eventually, you know, there is a segment which is there purely social, and then there is a segment which is there the social plus business, and then there is a purely business section. And we also realized that, you know, you can't separate out your social media from everything else, or your print from PR, from whatever. And over the years, I mean, our realization is that you can no longer really run a campaign, you can only run a conversation with your audience.